We've got Timothy Allen Simon, who served as an appointment secretary to California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, obviously a Republican, and Morgan Harper, an attorney and Democratic strategist from Ohio. Thank you both for being here. Okay, so I want to stick with this RFK Jr. question. I've got all these polls. I tried to find as much data as I could. There's the group Outward Intelligence that shows the majority of swing voters from RFK Jr. actually favor Trump over Harris, 59 to 41%. Then you've got this election website, 538. Obviously, it's a source that a lot of people have referenced, but it shows that actually RFK Jr. dropping out could flip Nevada and North Carolina to Trump's favor. How big a news headline is this endorsement for the Trump campaign? Morgan, I'll start with you.
I mean, if nothing else, I think it helps to send a different message about the Trump campaign from the one that's been sending the last few weeks, which is that it's weird. J.D. Vance continues to have very strange interactions on the trail. Donald Trump can't stick to a script. So I'll give them that now there's an endorsement from a Kennedy who his own family is now disowning for purposes of this presidential election. Look, I mean, I think this is going to come down ultimately to a battle between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. As your previous guest was just saying, we have to wait for all of the impacts from the past few weeks to settle in. There's going to be some more information inputs for voters as we get closer to the debate. But one thing is certain, Kamala Harris couldn't have had a stronger start to her campaign, and the convention just a demonstration of how many people are behind her and looking for her to win in November.
I mean, it is totally, it's valid. I mean, she has seen such a surge, likely because there was so much concern. I mean, I think you have to add that in. This is not just pure enthusiasm. This is a lot of survival tactic right now with the fact that the Democratic Party was very concerned with President Biden and his state, we'll just say that. But do I call you Tim or Timothy? I should have asked that before we went live.
Oh, no problem. Timothy is fine. And, you know, I had the honor of being at the DNC as well and saw the enthusiasm firsthand, as well as the unity in what I will call what the Republican Party used to be, and that is a Big Tent. I think the Democrats are now the Big Tent party. I'm not certain that the Kennedy endorsement, even in a narrow race, is going to make the difference that is anticipated. Most of Gen X and Gen Y are not familiar with Camelot. They do not know the real impact of the Kennedy family on politics, because there hasn't been really a Kennedy on the national stage. I did have the honor of serving with then First Lady Maria Shriver. I've known the family very well, but history is our best teacher. I don't consider that name to any longer be that strong of an impact on an election. I also think in his tendencies, that being Robert Kennedy, to veer towards the conspiracy theories and other, in my view, debunked positions, along with now J.D. Vance and the cat lady statements, I think the Republicans are going to have to dig themselves out of a lot of a negative grievance in order to capture the independent voter that is honestly considering what side to go to, that swing voter. And I'm not convinced the Kennedy endorsement is going to make a difference in the long run. I think the vice president can continue to ride the crest of the convention, the sugar high, as James Carville has referred it, into November. Republicans are going to have to demonstrate the policy differences in order to cater to the more conservative side. To the vice president's credit, in closing, she's capturing much of the Republicans' economic policy, which I think is a very strategic move to get the Nikki Haley voters, as they're referred to now. And I think she has a serious shot at that.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.